Okay, so this is Ringwalk Media in association with Well Ice Therapy. We've got the 4-time world champion, Mr. Ricky Hatton. So very nice to see you again, sir.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, not seen you for a while, to be honest, mind you. But I've had a nice holiday in Tenerife. Had 3 weeks there in the sun, but it's back to business now. Got Chloe fighting for the European title in November. We've got Jack out next week. You know, bout number 3. So yeah, it all starts again. So busy times, you know, a little break away, but hard at it now, and hard at it myself as well, doing a little bit here and there. Yeah.
Listen, before we talk about the two you've just mentioned, let's talk about your Sky documentary premiere last week. It's gone down an absolute storm, hasn't it? It was a brilliant night.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job. You know, the team that did it. Very raw, wasn't it? Very strong, very emotional. You know what I mean? I've never hid the fact of my problems in the past and my mental health. And when I do my sportsman's dinners, I always make it a mention in my speech. You know, as I'm trying to help people. But I mean, with doing the documentary, it was warts and all, no stone unturned. You know, and I think it took a little bit people by surprise at just how tough it was in that short period of time. You know what I mean? I got knocked out by Pacquiao, so I had to retire. So, you know, no boxing. Fell out with my mum and dad, no mum and dad. Fell out with Billy Graham, no, you know, split up with the missus. So
don't do things by half, do you?
So that period, you know, which is well documented, you know, my behaviour wasn't good, but as in the documentary, I was a very poorly man, and I don't think people realise just how tough I had it. So I was honest and as brutal as ever, so it was good, you know, to see this growing up as a kid and the good times, and then a proper fall from grace, if you like. But to see me present day back on track and even more. But yeah, I don't think it was your average boxing documentary. In a boxing documentary, normally you fought him, and then you boxed him, and then you went there, and then you boxed him, then he beat you, then you boxed him. I think it was more like a film than a documentary. You know, it was a proper full life story, wasn't it? And I know people maybe may shed a few tears, but I think people on the main were blown away by it, enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, we were in there, obviously very lucky to attend, and you know, there were some very famous faces with tears rolling down their cheeks, and afterwards they were all saying they didn't realise just the extent that you'd had those issues.
Oh well, with mental health, and that's the thing with mental health, and that's why I keep banging the drum, is that nobody does speak about it. You know, I didn't want to say to me mates, listen lads, I can't go in the local pub and go, lads, and I've got good mates, can't go in the local pub and go, lads, can I have a quick word with you? I'm crying every day and I want to kill myself. The thing, fucking Rick's lost it, and my loved ones, you know, even when I was with my girlfriend at the time, you know, when she'd go shopping or something, I'd be in tears, all right, then when she'd come through the door, I'd wipe him, hey, you okay, you all right, you had a good afternoon, love, you know, and you do. So I think not only did the public know, and my family knew I was ill, but to what extent, I don't think they knew. So I think it was a jaw dropper for everyone.
It was, and at the end of the premiere, standing ovation, and you went and did a Q&A, and again, you were very open and honest in that Q&A, and I'm not going to lie, it got me as well, mate.
Yeah, you've got to be open and got to be honest. You know what I mean? The reason why I mention it, and the reason why I mention it so often, is the impact that it has on people when I do mention it. You know what I mean? If people, you know, the more people we get to talk about it, you know, you can look, you know, hopefully people will look at the documentary and go, God, look, Rick, look how good it was with the family, wasn't it? And all them great times in Vegas, and look how bad it went. Oh my God, it was terrible for him. But look where he is today, he's back. And it's just a sign. That's why when I see the impact it has, when I tell people say, God, can't believe how open you were. I went, well, if you saw the impact it has on people when I tell them, you'd know why I come out and speak about it. Yeah.
Well, I think even just myself watching that, I know there's going to be people that now will actually go and talk to somebody.
Absolutely, that's what it's all for. I mean, I've had all the shit times now, you know what I mean? Everything's positive, everything's moving forward, the past is the past, moving on forward and everything I do. That's why I've tried to give a little bit back. I do my training, I try to give a little bit back to the boxers. If I can give some local kid or anyone, you know, the half of the life what boxing has given me by passing on my knowledge, that's what I'm going to do. And if I can save, you know, if some person, when I talk about my mental health and my depression and my stuff like that, if I save one person's life by watching that documentary and saving it, then I'm doing it. I'm giving it a little bit back to mental health, because there's people out there who presently are in the same boat I was in. And if talking about it saves one life, then it's been worthwhile. And if I can bring one fighter through, then that'll be worthwhile as well, to be honest. But give it a little bit back to two main things that have been so important in my life: my boxing and my mental health.
Well, let's talk about your fighters, because you got a couple of fighters out. Let's talk about Jack Murphy first. Jack's got his third fight over in Bolton on the VIP show next Saturday, and he's got quite a hard opponent, but he's doing really well, Jack.
Yeah, his opponent comes in as a bit of a go, to be honest with you, but I'm hoping it's going to bring the best out of Jack. Jack's improving with every training session. He was absolutely fantastic today, hitting hard, crisp. His style is probably boxing and speed and movement and everything like that, but he's got a good short game, and I want him to start interpreting that into his fights now. But his opponent comes in as a bit of a go. I mean, when you're at those 2 and 3 round stages of your career, you fight the go through the journeyman lot, and sometimes they barely throw a punch, you know what I mean? They're just looking to get through the 4 rounds and survive, But this lad comes in as a go, and I think it might bring the best out of Jack. So looking for him to shine again, next week,
And Chloe Watson, Wasserman won Perspid. She's got a European title fight probably the beginning of November. It's a massive step up for her.
Yeah. Well, European title fight in Brighton. It's come very, very quickly. But I always said, I think I speak for the Wassermans, and the management team as well, that we felt that it's the right time, it's the right fight, it's the right opponent, it's the right style of opponent. Maybe we could have gone another 8 rounder or gone the English or the British first, but the European title comes up, and as I've done a little bit of promoting, not like the Wassermans obviously, but I mean I've done a little bit of promoting. In fairness, I promoted everyone up from area to world champion and world heavyweight champion, so I do know what I'm on about a little bit. But you sometimes, I think they'll agree. You've got to, when certain opportunities come along, and you've got to take them while they're there, And we think European title fight has come a little bit sooner than we anticipated, but it's the right opponent, it's the right time, it's the right fight for her. She's performing better than ever, getting stronger, faster, technically improving. I think she's going to be bringing that title back to Birkenhead. Yeah.
That'll be your first strap in the gym, won't it?
Well, no, I've trained
female strap.
Yeah, female strap. Yeah. But I've been my third European champion. I trained Sergey Rabchenko, Zanat Zakianov, who then went on to win the world title, and Chloe with this European title shot. It's my first ladies champion, but I don't think it will be long before that world title belt goes round this girl's waist. There's a lot of pressures to put on her shoulders, but I know she can handle it. I think anyone that can see that, we've got a special talent there, and this is the first one of many of belts round her waist. I'm absolutely certain of it.
And you're also doing something else on Saturday next week. You've got your team captain, I believe, for a promotion. Yeah,
team captain for the on the box-off tournament. Yeah, I'm the Manchester, the Revolution. We fight Johnny Nelson's Leeds, and it's a good format. To be honest, they've done things similar, haven't they, to try and make it a little bit interesting. They did the prize fight a few years ago, didn't they? And they did the one with Sugar Ray Leonard, didn't they? The Contender. But yeah, I think this is a good format, for this country, because there's always been rivalry between the counties, isn't there? Liverpool, Leeds, Yorkshire, Manchester, London, Birmingham, and so. Not only that adds a little bit of spice to it, the rivalry, because when I was fighting, I never wanted to get beat by a Scouser, I never wanted to get beat by a Cockney, I never wanted to get beat by a Brummie, I never wanted to get beat by anyone by Yorkshire, and they'll say the same. So it adds a little bit of spice to it, but also it's lads and ladies on the bottom rung of the ladder. Do you know what I mean? We can't all get a contract, off Sky and BT or Frank already, can we? Sometimes the opportunities aren't there for some people, but this is going to give people the opportunities that might not normally have got one. So it's a good chance for some youngster out there to springboard themselves. And to be honest with you, I'm sure there's people sat on the couch watching these fights and thinking, I could beat him, or I could that. I'm just never going to get the chance. Well, we might be able to unearth the next world champion, not from the Olympics or the World Championships, but just off the couch. You know what I mean? Because there's talent out there, but there's nothing forthcoming to bring this unknown talent out. But this box off might just do that.
I don't know if you realise, but it's 2 MBEs fighting each other. You're the captains, aren't you? You and Johnny, you're both MBEs.
Yeah. Me and Johnny will have to have a fight, but I don't know if Johnny will give the weight away.
Well, I'll tell you what, he'll have you for that one.
No, but no, looking forward to it, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, they've got the boxers have all got their own trainers, and they'll have their own game plan. They'll be training. My team look really, really fit. I'm sure Johnny's will do the same, and the amount of input and experience Johnny Nelson's got, that will be able to add to the team, along from me to my team. I think it's going to be a good night all round here. So here's to the semis, and looking forward to it.
And just briefly, we'll touch on last weekend, Eubank Smith. What do you think of the end result?
I was very shocked. I was shocked in the first fight when Liam knocked him out early, and I thought it would be a much more competitive fight. But I thought Liam would probably still do it again. But Chris Eubank Jr. went up a lot in my estimations, to be honest. To get beat like he did in such a brutal manner, to come back and put on such a spectacular performance, because beforehand, I honestly, no disrespect, I mean, the only two names on Chris Eubank Jr.'s record was George Groves and Billy Joe Saunders, and nobody else. And when he was talking in the manner in which he was talking I thought, easy Chris, you know what I mean? But I take it all back. I thought he boxed a very, very mature performance, very, very clever fight, and to come back immediately. I mean, it was only a few months ago when he lost, to Liam early doors. To come back in his immediate next fight and putting a performance like that, hey, hat off to you, sir.
And there's a couple of names been thrown about for the next fight for Chris Eubank, which is either Triple G or Conor Benn. Which do you think would be the best fight for Chris to take?
I think have a rematch. Chris, listen, if the Golovkin fight gets offered to him, you can't blame Chris for taking it. He's putting up a good performance and that, but I can't help but think, they both know it's 1-1. You know what I mean? Liam won clearly in the first one, Chris won clearly in the second one. Let's have the winner of that fight in Golovkin or something like that, but I mean, it's, to be honest, Liam could have gone straight into Golovkin, couldn't he?
Yeah.
And he didn't, give Chris his return. I think it's the sensible thing to do. But if Chris goes and fights Golovkin, good luck to him. We'll be in his corner, and good luck to him. But I'd like to see the third fight. Find out who is the better man. It's 1-1, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's not a bad shout. Not many people have said that actually, so we'll keep our minds on that one. Listen, Ricky, it's always a pleasure to be in your gym. We always never take you for granted. We appreciate your time, and just give us one message for anybody that's watching your documentary, suffering from anything, maybe wouldn't speak to anyone. Just give them a little message.
Well, to the youngsters out there that are starting off, through the amateur boxing and, just starting off from the council estate where I come from, reach for the stars. Believe you can do it. You saw the footage from me when a little whippersnapper, 11 years of age, and look where they ended up. If there's one thing positive to come out of it, kids from the council estate, kids in the local boxing gym, give it your best shot, because, the dream came true for me. And there's no reason why it can't come true for you, because you come from the same place I come from. So why can't it come true? So take that as a confidence. And for anyone who's suffering with mental health, I think I keep banging the drum again. You go and speak to someone. Don't have to be your family, don't have to be your friends. But go and speak to someone, get it off your chest. And then once you've finally done that, you'll feel better, and then get yourself in a little regime, keep yourself busy, keep yourself active, fill the hours of your day up, and you can turn your life around. Do you know what I mean? When I got knocked out by Pacquiao and had to retire, so there was no boxing, there was no mum and dad, no Billy Graham, and you can see in the documentary how close me and Billy were. Do you know what I mean? Split up with the missus, all in one foul scoop, and I turned it round. And you can too if you do the right things.
Amazing words, Ricky Hatton. Brilliant, thank you.
Wasn't it an absorbing watch? The reviews, they've already been glowing, and rightly so, because it is so well put together as well. Credit to Noah Media Group for that as well. It's a really raw, open, honest insight into the life of an absolute boxing legend. Let's give him another round of applause.